The electoral politics, the other important aspect what you have in the electoral politics is the voters list. We have discussed about the constituencies, how a large country like India is divided into number of constituencies in order to organize elections in a very prescribed and a better way. And India is divided into 543 Lok Sabha constituencies, and every state is again divided into, according to the state boundaries, it has been divided into the member of the Legislative Assembly constituencies or Vidhana Sabha constituencies. Now once the constituencies are finalized, now who should vote and who should not vote, this has to be finalized. Who should vote, in the sense, when we talk about who should vote, we are giving a qualification for the members of all the Indian citizens to vote. Earlier, before India got its independence, we have seen the Britishers have restricted the Indians not to vote. So, in order to overcome this one, the framers of the constitution decided that we should give constitutional right compulsory for every Indian right to vote. Now, what is the criteria to give the right to vote? Any individual, he may be a richer person or a poor person, he may be following any religion. India doesn't support any religion officially. Any language spoken person, any cultural practice person, whoever attains 18 years of age is eligible to vote. So, the union government conducts or puts an election commission body, which is an independent body which has been set up only with the prime motto to conduct elections to the Lok Sabha and the other state assemblies. So, the election commission maintains the list of the people who are 18 and above years of age and who have the eligibility to vote. The list, which is published by the election commission, who are recognized as voting candidates or voter members, are known as election voters list. This voters list gives us details of who in any constituency are eligible to cast their vote. Why I am mentioning here that they have to cast their vote? Because there are some people who move away from that particular constituency and go and settle in somewhere else. When they go and settle somewhere else, they cannot have their right to vote here. They cannot have the name in the voters list of this constituency. They may be having in somewhere else. For example, we nowadays have a scenario of rural-urban migration. Many people from rural areas migrate to urban areas, settle down there for 10 years to 15 years. Now, the same name of the candidate who has already moved away from that particular rural village to the urban area 10 years before cannot be continued in the list. So, the election commission checks and verifies whether the candidate so and so is staying in that area or not, and if necessary, it removes the candidate's name. And here he can apply, and from this area he can cast his vote. So, any individual can cast his vote only once. He cannot cast his vote in two different areas and two different times. One person, one value, and only one time he is supposed to vote. That is the reason why the voter list plays a very vital role when the elections are conducted. When any new people, like younger generation people, are attaining 18 years of age, the election commission conducts campaigns in the colleges, in the universities, so that the young graduates can enroll themselves into the election voters list, and so that the government would make all the necessary arrangements so that the younger generation people, whoever is attaining 18 and above years of age, whoever do not have any awareness that they have to register themselves for the election commission voter list, they will be awakened by the calls made by the election commission. So, before the elections are finalized, 1 month before the date of the elections is declared itself, we can apply for the election voter list, and the election commission through its various agencies checks whether this person is staying there or not, whether he is supporting the age proof whether it is a valid age proof or not. After verifying them, then they issue and confirm his name to be in the voters list. After making the voters list, we say that he is eligible to vote. What is the basic criteria to say any individual that he is right to vote? Means he should have 18 years of age and there is no necessity for him to have any educational qualification. Now moving on to understand the Indian Constitution. The Indian Constitution, according to the Article 326, declares that any Indian citizen whoever attains 18 years of age, irrespective of his caste, color, creed or race, any other discrimination, will be eligible to right to vote. So the Article 366 provides that particular provision for the Indian citizens to right to vote. This right to vote makes India a significant country when compared to the other countries, because here when it comes to right to vote, we are not discriminating men and women, we are not discriminating rich and poor, we are not discriminating the non-locals and the localite people. All are treated as Indians and all will get the right to vote irrespective of any other discriminations. Even women get equally to vote, equal with the rights of men. And do we have any restrictions when it comes to right to vote? Yes, we do have certain restrictions. What are those restrictions? The restrictions are, first of all, if any individual who is healthy is eligible to right to vote. The individual who is not healthy, who is having unsound mind, cannot have the right to vote. And this kind of unsound mind people who are having some kind of problems or who is involved in the terrorist activities or is involved in any criminal procedures will not have right to vote. Except these people, remaining all whoever attains 18 years and above age people are eligible to vote. And moving on to the new changes what the Election Commission has brought. Earlier, Election Commission used to maintain a record of all these things. Now, along with the maintenance of the record, now they are issuing a photo identification card to every voter whoever is contesting in the having the right to vote. So the details of the candidate will be mentioned in the card. Along with that, we have the photo of the particular candidate also mentioned in the EPIC. It is election photo identification card. This election photo identification card has to be bought to the polling booth, and then when you show this one, the photo and you will be verified, and then you can cast your vote. And it is not a compulsory now in our country, because there are many areas where these EPICs are still to be issued. So during the election time, they also give options for other identification cards also to be submitted as proofs for them, like for example the ration card, the driving license. These also can be the supporting documents to prove that he belongs to this particular constituency. So this is what we have in the voters list. Voters list is nothing but the list of the voters who are present in that particular constituency. All the eligible voters names will be mentioned in the voters list. Who maintains this voters list? The Election Commission of India maintains the voter list of every constituency, and then it will be dispatched to the particular person. In every constituency, if we do not have this voters list, we cannot judge whether the elections are genuine or not. And who does the modifications for this one? Obviously, the Election Commission only. For every 10 years takes the census which are taken by the Indian government into consideration, and then try to match this one with the changing population dynamics. And then if any person passes away, if any person is away from the city for many years, is away from the village for many years, these kind of names all will be waived off, and the new people who are getting 18 years of age and above will be added to the list. Like that, they go on continuously adding and deletions for the voters list to make it a exact proof with the people who are staying in that particular village, mandal or the district or in that state. To maintain that clarity for us, all the members who are eligible to vote, that list will be maintained by the Election Commission by removing the dead person's names and adding the new person who are attaining 18 years of age. With this only we can conduct the elections. If this is not there, the voters list is not there, we would go into a confucius state where we would not know who should be elected and who will elect them. So that confusion can be avoided if you have a good voters list. The nomination of the candidates. Once the constituencies are confirmed, after the constituencies we have seen the voters list. So the area for what the constituency will be there or the leader will be elected. Then who will be electing them? The voters of that particular constituency will be electing that particular candidate from various parties to make him as their representative. And later, now they enter into the important phase, that is the nomination of the candidate. Who can be a candidate? Any voter can be a candidate. There is a small clarity required here. Any voter can become a voter when he attains 18 years of age. So any individual, whether he is an educated person or an uneducated person, whether he is going to a college, whether he is going to a job, whether he is doing any other business or whatever so may be, he is having 18 years of age, then he can become a voter. Any voter can become a candidate only if the voter's age is 25 years and above. Any voter can be a candidate in the elections, but the voter's age should be 25 years and above. Then only he can contest for the elections. This point we all have to remember. Every voter who of that constituency, every voter who live in that region is definitely eligible for contesting in the elections. But to be a candidate of Lok Sabha or the state Vidhan Sabha, you need to attain 25 years of age. So that point has to be maintained here. Then only you can be a candidate. If a candidate is supported by any political party, we have many political parties in our country like Congress, BJP, Aam Aadmi, TDP, TRS and so on. There are so many. So any political party which supports a particular candidate issues a ticket on the name of the party. So for example, Chandrababu Naidu of TDP is contesting in a particular place of Kuppam in Chittoor district. So the party will confirm the ticket of Chandrababu Naidu and the party will allot the party symbol to that particular candidate. So once a party is confirming a candidate, the ticket will be confirmed is known as party ticket. When a party is issuing a ticket to any particular candidate, like as we discussed for Chandrababu Naidu in the region of Chittoor, in the constituency of Kuppam, in Kuppam the voters have to elect Chandrababu Naidu, means they have to subscribe their vote to the TDP party symbol because he got the party ticket of Telugu Desam party. If any political party leader is contesting means or any political party is extending their support to a candidate, the candidate has to subscribe the voters towards the party symbol. The election commission has the major responsibility here. If a party is putting up a candidate, the party symbol automatically goes to that particular candidate. If the party is not supporting any candidate or the candidate is not getting any support from any political party, we can also stand up as an individual and independent candidate without having support of any political party. So that particular person or the candidate, the election commission will recognize him as an independent candidate and then give him an individual symbol. For this we have an example. When Y.S. Rajshekar Reddy passed away, Y.S. Jaganmohan Reddy want to have his own party, where for the first time he is contesting in the Lok Sabha elections, where he resigned for the Congress party membership and he contested in the Kadapa region. For him, he want to establish a new political party, but by that time the political party was not having any political symbol. It is a new party. It's a newborn baby. So, the Election Commission has issued a new symbol to our Rajshekar Reddy's son, Jagan Mohan Reddy. The symbol was a fan. So, like that, this fan is actually irrelevant to the people who are contesting there. They knew Jagan Mohan Reddy as a Congress MP. Now, he has to forego the symbol of Congress party, which is a symbol of a hand, and they have to subscribe their votes to a fan symbol which is given by our Election Commission to Jagan Mohan Reddy as an independent candidate. They did not recognize his party name at all. They gave it as an independent candidate to them. In the similar way, if any person want to contest in the elections, apart from having support from any political party or did not get any political party ticket, he can also stand for elections and be as an independent candidate. So, being as an independent candidate, it is the responsibility of the Election Commission to issue a symbol for him. That symbol should be subscribed by the people, those who would like to have this person as their representative. So, they have to cast their votes in favor of that particular symbol. So, like that, the elections of the party ticket plays a significant role. Very simple. If you are contesting with any political party, that party symbol will automatically accompany you in the elections. If you are not participating through any political party but you want to contest in the elections, then you get an independent symbol, you are an independent candidate, and you get the symbol which is issued by the Election Commission to you. So, party ticket and an independent candidate, both are important. And next, the nomination form. Every candidate who ever want to contest for the elections has to compulsorily, mandatorily fill the nomination form. Go to the MRO office or the district collector office, in front of him, fill the nomination form and then submit the nomination form. We generally see many rallies which are organized when famous leaders move on for filing of their nomination forms. And along with the filing of the nomination forms, you are also supposed to submit some amount of money as a security deposit which you are supposed to pay to the particular district collector in the form of DD, because the cash you can deposit in the bank and acquire a DD, and that DD amount you are supposed to pay to the district collector. In this way, the complete procedure has to be followed. Once the constituencies are divided, the voters list is confirmed, then we will have candidates filing their nominations. Now, the Supreme Court recently has passed a direction where the candidates have to file some more details other than their personal information, like what is their name, what are their educational qualifications, what is their family income. Certain information is required previously, but now some additional information more is required. Now, recently, the Supreme Court of India has given a direction to submit, along with the personal information, we need some more information about a particular candidate who is contesting in the elections. Why we need this information? We need the information which has to be made to public, so the public can know completely about that particular candidate and then decide or take a decision whether we have to go along with this candidate ahead or not. What is that information that the Supreme Court has made it compulsory to be declared? That is, first one, serious criminal cases pending against a candidate. Any particular person who is contesting in the elections has to file his nominations, has to fill his personal information. Along with that, he should also give an affidavit stating that if there are any particular serious allegations which are criminal cases, like for example, he is involved in a conspiracy in a murder case in somebody else, or if he is involved in any money laundering cases, or if he is involved in any allegations of hitting somebody or doing somebody or some injustice done to someone, or some other case, whichever is in pending in the criminal courts or law courts, has to be mentioned to the Election Commission when they are submitting their nomination papers. Along with that, they also have to declare the total amount of assets in the form of cash or worth. How much worth of properties do they own or their family members own, or in total what is the family property they own. These all have to be declared openly, and this is also made compulsory to declare their educational qualifications. If they possess any educational qualifications, it is mandatory that they have to declare their educational qualifications also. First, they have to declare the serious criminal cases which are pending against them in the courts. Then the worth of the assets or the liabilities which their family members or they themselves own personally, and the educational qualifications if they possess anything. Why we generally get a fundamental doubt? Why there is no educational qualification prescribed for a very highest post in India who can reshape the future of our country? A candidate who is winning the elections can definitely become any minister or even the prime minister, and there is no prescribed qualification for a person who can be the prime minister of our country. For this, a small example. We all know about Sachin Tendulkar. Sachin Tendulkar is a renowned cricketer, not only in India, all over the world. He created on his name many records in the world of cricket. When it comes to educational qualification, the educational qualification column of Sachin Tendulkar may not be so impressive to any one of us. You all may be higher qualified in education when compared to Sachin Tendulkar, because somewhere in 8th and 9th he has stopped his education. So educational qualification is not mandatory for a cricketer, because it is a talent or is the way how he plays cricket is important, not the educational qualification for him. In the similar way, the politician or a leader of a country should not be mandatorily be fixed with certain boundaries that he should be coming from so and so background or so and so educational qualification. This also hurts the basic principle of democracy. The other angle is the candidate who is contesting in the election is always canned by lakhs of people. Let us take for an MLA candidate, he is canned or he is been discussed about him for at least 3 lakh people, where these lakhs of people will decide whether he is working properly or not. So though he is not having educational qualifications prescribed, he is being under scan continuously for every 5 years. So they will decide whether he is working properly or not. And the other angle of this one is that the other side, whether the educational qualification, if it is fixed like BA or BCom or MA or MCom, then 90% of the Indians will become ineligible to contest in the elections, because we are not fixing the lines, but we are actually restricting the population who are contesting in the elections. This can hurt the basic principle of democracy. That's why there is no prescribed qualification in regards to educational level to contest in the elections of either state Vidhan Sabha or the Lok Sabha elections. So the compulsory documents for anyone to file their nomination: his personal data, declaration, any serious criminal cases pending against him, assets and liabilities worth of his or his family's, educational qualifications, if any, if he possesses any, that should be declared. These all information will be made public, so that whatever they are declaring, whether it is right or wrong, that will be decided by the public. And this candidate, whether he should be elected by us or not, the decision can be taken wisely by the people once this information is revealed outside. If a candidate who is contesting in the elections has a serious allegation that he has killed somebody or he is a part of the conspiracy of killing so and so famous leader, then definitely people would start to think whether we should support him or not. So in order to make aware about the people of that candidate only, Supreme Court has recently passed this judgment saying that it is mandatory to fill the details of the cases, assets, value or properties, and also the educational qualifications of a particular candidate who is contesting in the elections. Now, the election campaigning. Once you file the nomination, the dates, the candidates list will be finalized, the election date will be declared. From the date of the declaration of the election date, we have 2 weeks of time for you to campaign. Why do we need to campaign? The people whom they are going to choose their leaders would like to convey the message that what they want to do if they come to power. People choose the party on basing of their policies only. So it's actually not choosing a candidate here. We are supporting a political party which is putting up its candidate, so that if this candidate wins in this region and if he gains the support of all the other candidates all over the state, then the party can make certain changes in the policies and it would like to drive the country's economy towards a certain direction and giving certain extra information or adding on to the growth of the country. So let us look into the detail of election campaigning. The election campaigning is mainly to target the people, because here the people who choose the leaders, in order to choose the leaders, people try to assess the leaders by the policies what the particular party want to do. When it comes to the parties campaigning, parties always campaign with a larger motto. What is their section group to be targeted? When they target a particular section group, they make the policies. They say, for example, in the Haryana case, we have seen Mr. Devilal, Haryana Sangharsh Samiti party has targeted the farmers and the small businessmen people, saying that if we are elected, if we come to power, we will definitely waive off all the financial loans which are there on the farmers and on the small businessmen. So when these kind of policies are made or promises are made, the people would obviously like to choose those candidates. This all happens in the 2 weeks of election campaigning, and these 2 weeks will be before the election polling date. And when it comes to the practicality, it is not that exactly 2 weeks where all the televisions channels, all the FM radio channels, everything will be filled with the political advertisements, but it is the target group of a political party. From months before onwards, it targets to campaign for its political benefits in the coming elections. For example, the 2014 elections, where the BJP has come to power in 2014 elections, but if we look at the campaigning of BJP, it started from 2013 onwards. It is way back than 2 weeks. It's only 2 weeks mandatory to conduct the election campaigning. But Narendra Modi has been declared as the prime ministerial candidate in 2013 in the meeting of BJP, and then onwards he has moved on to various corners of India to campaign and to propagate what BJP want to do for our country if it comes to power. This all he toured all over India, and then he made a vibrant passages and speeches, and finally he is able to acquire the support of the people. A clear-cut majority was given to Narendra Modi in 2014 elections, but he could not acquire this only in 2 weeks of campaigning. He acquired this by doing a long months of campaigning, which he did before 2014. So that's how the political parties plan for the elections. Let us now look into some of the famous campaigning slogans, how the political parties try to motivate the people towards themselves. Now, after the elections campaigning started, as I mentioned that this is the prime motto important phase which can transform the people, even though they are not interested in a candidate, but they would like to support the party which is putting up this candidate, can choose him. Let us now look at some of the famous slogans which have created a wave in the elections. One, the Congress under the able leadership of Mrs. Indira Gandhi in 1971 gave the slogan called Garibi Hatao, the removal of poverty. Government would reframe all the policies and try to do its level best to the removal of poverty by giving this slogan. Indira Gandhi was able to get huge majority in 1971 elections and gave power for the Congress party to come into power and form the union government. And in the next term, in 1977, when the elections happened, the Janata Party came up with a slogan, that is Save Democracy. It was a time period when Indira Gandhi, from 25th of June to 25th of June in 1975 to 1977, she has imposed emergency where all the civil liberties and all the rights of the individual citizens were being completely upheld and cancelled. So the military dictatorship has been brought into place where all the opposition leaders were imprisoned. Today, whoever opposition leaders are on top places as chief ministers or union ministers were at that point of time as prisoners in the jails. So at that moment, the Janata Party is a combination of all the political parties, all the opposition parties against the Congress, came up with the slogan that we want to save democracy, so please try to support us, give the power to us. Do not believe in Congress, which has used its power to destroy the democracy. We want to save democracy. So if our party comes to power, we would like to save democracy in our country. So people has given a clear mandate for Janata Party in 1977 when they came up with the campaigning slogan called Save Democracy. In the similar way, the left front, the communist parties are rightly known as left front because they never have been in the Lok Sabha in power and they never have sat in the right side of the power. So they always sit in the left side in the opposition only. They share the opposition seats. Now, the left front is communist parties have come up with a slogan in 1977 in West Bengal when the elections are happening. They came up with a slogan called Land to the Tiller. From 1977 to 2009, nearly for 35 years, they have been ruling continuously. The Communist Party has got the support of the people continuously with the same slogan of Land to the Tiller for a very large period of time. So people get moved on with the campaign, with the slogan of the campaign. If they want, they like the party's campaigning slogan, definitely most of the candidates of that particular party will be easily winning the elections. It would be a cakewalk for the party candidates to win the elections. As it happened in 1971 when the Garibi Hatao campaign happened with Congress. Similarly, to save democracy with the Janata Party, left front, Land to the Tiller. Let's move on to the another example which happened in nearby states of Andhra and Telangana. Once they were united states, that is United Andhra Pradesh, where during that period N.T. Ramarao was forming a new political party. The party name is Telugu Desam Party. It came into existence in 1983. He came up with the campaigning tagline called Protect the Self-Respect of the Telugus. We want the self-respect of the Telugus. In Telugu it is rightly known as Atma Gauravam. The self-respect of the people of Andhra people has to be respected. He used these words and he got a clear mandate victory, 200 plus seats out of 294 Vidhana Sabha seats in the AP Assembly. So the campaigning captions definitely catch the attention of the people. That is like Garibi Hatao, Save Democracy, Land to the Tiller, self-respect of the Telugus, or India Shining, or we also have Narendra Modi's slogan of Making India a Superpower Country. These all slogans are the catchy slogans. Actually, the political parties use their campaigning by giving a slogan to them. So this slogan will be reachable to many people. First advantage, they need not remember everything in detail for them. Just the catchy words 2 or 3 would make them to remember about the particular political party, and that political party would make the candidates to contest in the elections. So it makes easy for the voter who want to extend his support to a political party by putting his vote in the favor of the party what he likes. For example, if he likes Garibi Hatao, he would like to put his vote to the Congress candidate, though he does not like the candidate at the local level. he liked the campaigning of that slogan of Garibi Hatao. Every poor person will get connected to this one, because they are promising that we are removing the poverty. We want to remove poverty completely. So every person who is affected with poverty would definitely assure their support to that particular party, who gets connected to that particular political party. So that is how the influence of the campaigning slogans play a very major role in election campaigning. Now, moving apart from the election campaigning slogans, is it necessary to check the campaigning process of the candidate? Yes, it is necessary. We do agree that it should be given freedom. The candidate and the political party should be given freedom and a free hand to do campaignings according to their wish, their interest and their capability. But there are certain restrictions which has to be imposed. Then only we can have true campaignings happening. What are the restrictions that have to be imposed or checked when there is a campaigning happening? The scanning or the supervision or the election campaigning is necessary, because even the political parties may go on beyond than the required level to have political power in their hands. Ultimately, all the political parties want to have political power. So in the process of attaining political power into their hands, they may sometimes go and use in some illegal methods. So it is compulsory to restrict them with certain rules and regulations. Now let us see what are the certain rules and regulations. According to the Election Commission of India, the election campaigning should not bribe any of the voters or should not threaten any of its voters. They should not give in cash, in kind or in any other promises that if you vote to me or to a particular political party, we would pay cash for you, we would buy land for you, we would give so and so favor for you. This kind of bribing should not happen with any of the voters. In the similar way, the voters should not be threatened that if you do not vote to me, we are going to threaten your family, we are going to harm your family. This kind of situation should not happen. This is strictly restricted by the Election Commission. Second point, they should not make any appeals on the name of the caste, like we belong to so and so caste, or we all are from so and so caste, or I am from so and so caste, so please support me, we all are the same caste people. That kind of appeals do not be made, and not on any religion base also. We already have a painful experiences when India and Pakistan got partitioned. So the framers of the constitution strictly prohibited any campaigning with religion connect. So any leader cannot take religious words or anything to do his election campaign. There was a case registered against Varun Gandhi, who has made a statement against the Muslims in one of his speeches through the election campaigning. So a case was registered and later it went on ahead. So any political leader, whomever it is, if they are contesting for the elections and when they are participating in the election campaigning, they should not make any appeals on the name of a caste or should not use a religious connect to establish his rapport with the people. And later, the third important one, he should not use any of the government resources, government buildings, government structures for his campaigning. And they also made a restriction that if a candidate is contesting for the Lok Sabha, he should spend maximum amount of only 25 lakhs for his campaigning. He should not spend more than this. If he is spending more than this, his election can be declared as illegal. Though he was being elected and has taken the oath in the elections or in the Lok Sabha, still his election can be cancelled by the Election Commission if any of the allegations are proved to be right against him. And even for the Vidhan Sabha or the Assembly constituency, if they are spending more than 10 lakhs, obviously their election will be cancelled. So once they are campaigning, they should have a campaigning logo for them or a campaigning slogan for them, and after that they should not bribe the voters. At the same time, they should not threaten any of the voters. They should not make any appeals on the name of the religion or on the caste, and they should not use any of the government resources, and they should not spend than the maximum limit which is given by the Election Commission, that is for the Lok Sabha candidates it is 25 lakhs, and for the assembly constituencies it is 10 lakhs. So these are the compulsory things what they are not supposed to do. Along with this, we also have model code of conduct. What is model code of conduct? The model code of conduct is the code of conduct which has been accepted by all the political parties, that we would not do this kind of mistakes morally which is not correct when we are doing the elections. That is what is known as model code of conduct. This is not a restriction put by the Election Commission. It has been an awareness by all the political parties, and they all agreed and decided what is a model code of conduct. So what is actually model code of conduct? The model code of conduct is that no candidate can use what? No candidate can use the places of worship for his election campaigning. No party leader can conduct any political meetings in a church, in a masjid, or in a temple, or in any of the lands which belong to either temple, church, or a mosque. He is not supposed to enter the places of worship when it is come to campaigning. While he is passing through that way, he can pay a visit to that one, but he cannot campaign in the holy places of worship. That is the first one which is in the code of conduct. Second point, government vehicles should not be used when he is doing election campaigning. Articrafts, which are the government articrafts, the government's property, should not be used, and any of the officials should not be involved in the election campaigning. None of the officials should be involved in the election campaigning.
If you like this video, please give a thumbs up. Please subscribe to our channel to get more videos on CBSE syllabus.